You know a lot about golf.
Well, we're waiting.
And there is no need to wait any longer. I mean, why? Why wait? We're here. Those Weekend Golf Guys. Week number 2 of the live show for 2021. I am John Ashton, intrepid producer Mark is with us. Douglas, pushing all the buttons the other side of the glass. Jeff Smith, he's like, hey, it's not April yet. No.
No, man, read my contract.
That's exactly. When you start pulling the contract out of the drawer, you know that it's getting serious time. But we are here and bemoaning the weather. Do you know how – we were just talking about this, of how relative things are. Because 4 weeks ago, if you had told me it's going to be 55 degrees and sunny, I would have, yes, sign me up. Get me a tee time. I'm there. Today, it's like, yeah, it's just a little too cold. Just a little too cold.
But it's windy.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, we came over the 2nd Street Bridge to get over here to the sunny side of Louisville. And I mean, you couldn't keep it in the lane. You know?
Yeah.
The river was rather choppy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not like we don't have people say, yeah, you sure you're not playing today? You haven't have an opportunity. We had plenty of opportunities. In fact, we have a friend that we've turned down how many times now?
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where he's going to stop asking, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
It is, however, excuse me. The cough switch. Oh, there it is. I guess I just didn't push it hard enough the first time. It's getting into scramble season. And it's nice to see that all of the organizations, or many of the organizations who passed last year completely on doing their traditional annualized fundraising scramble, are back.
Yeah, cool.
And one of the things we're going to talk about today is how to participate in those in a way that won't cost you any money. Actually, in a way that not only won't cost you any money, but will make you money.
All right.
So there you go. That is taking into consideration that you are in business, or you're a salesman, somebody who needs a customer, and we'll be talking about that too. But do you remember the '60s?
I do. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
A lot of them.
Really? Because they say if you remember the '60s, you really weren't
there.
But I had a guy come up to me the other day, and he said, okay, you're on the radio, man. How many Motown groups from the '60s can you name? And I said, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 tops.
Boom.
But the '70s, now there's a decade for you.
Got a million of them.
'70s, if you remember the '70s, you actually remember when Saturday Night Live was funny.
Yeah.
And I remember Saturday Night Live, right after Gillette came out with the, what did they call that razor? The first thing they had with the 2 blades? The double track or something like that?
Double track,
right.
Some of the track.
Well, the format of Saturday Night Live was they did the opening, and then they did the live from New York at Saturday night, and then they went into a commercial, but it was a spoof commercial. Okay?
Okay.
And I remember they did this thing about the Gillette triple track, about how it had 3 blades. And it started extolling the virtues, how the first blade grabs the hair and pulls it out. The second grabs it and pulls it further. And the third cuts it off so it goes back in below the skin line. But I just remember the tagline of that commercial was triple track, because you'll buy anything. And now we got, 4, 5, 6 blades in these things? We have a sponsor called Supply. See, not even an overbearing name to this company, Supply. And their website is supply.co. And they sent me a razor First off, the thing I think weighs about 2.5 pounds. It's chrome or sterling silver or something, but it's very heavy. But guess how many blades it has? One. One blade. And it's something that if you remember the 70s, this is going to conjure up memories in your head. It's an injector razor.
Yes, I just, yeah.
Remember the injectors?
Uh-huh.
Where you want to change the blade?
Injector.
You just, there you go. The old one pops out, the new one is in. And it does come with 3 separate heads, though. So you can set for whether you want the closeness you want. You can change the head to get the blade closer.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like automatic. You actually have to change. You unscrew a little thing and you put new.
Yeah. That's where I was going back. I guess that was the 50s, where you unscrewed the bottom of the thing and
it
the top
opens up.
opened up, and you put the double blade.
That's when you had the double. Yes, Wilkinson sword blades. Remember those? Yeah, exactly. We used to use those in editing tape in the radio station.
Oh, okay.
That's what you needed.
I'm not sure where you're going with that.
Yeah, and I still have the scars.
Right.
To show how
the double edge was tough.
Yeah, that's right. There's no safe way to hold a razor with 2 sharp edges, man. It was like, well, there goes another production director bleeding to death. Next. But anyhow, I can get you one of those at 10% off. You want to just go to supply.co. Okay, supply.co, and use just use the what's the word I'm looking for? Just use golf at checkout. They're going to ask you for a coupon code. The code, that's it. And they're going to ask you for a code, and use the code golf, and you'll get out. But it's a great razor, man. I mean, you know, if we were better friends, I'd ask you to feel my face, but just stay where you're at, boy. So, but no, supply.co.
Can't beat a blade, man.
I know, man. I know.
I don't care, you know.
And it's not fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
It's single. Now, the only other thing that they got to bring back is hot lather machines.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
I love those. We know of a few. In fact, last week we had a group on that does a big annual party out at Shawnee every year. It's a scramble. And then we've got our friend Joanne Orr with the sickle cell.
Oh,
their scramble's coming up on May 15th. Oh. And it just, whatever your organization is, and that usually what we do is we support the organizations that have, my mom passed away with ALS. So if the ALS Society has a golf scramble, I'm playing in it, to raise money. And the same thing with cancer survivors or family members who have passed from cancer. You do the Cancer Society, the Heart Society, whatever. And every organization does one, basically. And a lot of times if you have a business or something and you want to get noticed, you sponsor them because it's another, it's a little tax deduction and it's another way to get your name out in front of people and to support a good cause in which you believe.
Right.
But, you can always have it. I always like to do a quiz when I go to scrambles. And who was it that sponsored hole number 8?
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Nobody knows.
You pay the money, you get a sign on the tee.
Yeah.
Big deal, right? Usually the only reason people notice it is that's because they want to find out which tee they should tee off from.
Right.
And that's where the sign is at. It's at the tee you tee off from. So there you go. So I don't want to say it's a waste of money because, again, it's for a good cause and it's supporting and it's a little tax deductible. But as far as advertising results go, nothing. Okay? Nothing. Now, you may get your name out in the program in front of people because the programs people keep, and any printed materials and on the website and stuff like that. It's, you get your money's worth.
Yeah.
But it's a cost. When you get a team, what do you do with it? I'll tell you what most people do. I'll tell you what we would do with it. We call our friends who play golf.
Yeah.
And we say, hey, we're in a scramble. Can you make it? And they show up. Then we decide how badly we have to cheat in order to win. Okay, we don't do that, but I was just trying to make you feel good because I know most of you do that. But that's it. You walk, even if you do win, you walk off with what, $100 gift certificate to the pro shop? so you can afford to maybe replace the balls you lost out on the course when you played. Or, offer to buy your buddy's $100 gift certificate for $75 cash. So put it together so you can get something substantial, whatever. It's a good time. You have a good time out there. And, of course, you support a good cause. Man, creeping crud is this whole springtime thing, man.
Bad allergies.
Pollen is in the air. But for the most part, we've had good times. How many people have you met at a scramble?
Can't tell you.
No, because what do? You get there, you register, and you look at all the silent auction items.
Right.
And you go, oh, this is cool. And you may or may not say hello to the people in line with you. You may or may not say hello to the people at the lunch/dinner/breakfast table, whatever it is they're giving. May or may not say hello to the people on the putting green or the driving range. For the most part, you stay within your little group of people that showed up.
True.
So, tell me, other than supporting an organization that you've got an affinity for, where's the upside to playing in a golf scramble? So far, we haven't found one, people. It's a fun day with friends. Probably much more expensive than if you just had those friends come play golf normally. Maybe not as good a course, it depends. That is the one thing that I like scrambles for, because they usually have them at private clubs.
Right.
And I don't want to join every private club in town.
And nor did they want you to.
Well, this is true, too. You promised you weren't going to bring that up.
Oh, I didn't. We weren't going to talk about that.
But, okay, before we get into what you need to do, one of the things that holds people back from playing in scrambles, too, is they would love to support the organization, and they volunteer to come out and they help. They'll drive the cart. They'll, sell the drink tickets or whatever. But golf intimidates people. And it's not the game that intimidates people. It's the whole atmosphere that intimidates people. Think about this. If you don't play golf, how intimidating is it to drive into the parking lot of a golf course? What do you do? You see the sign that says bag drop, but there's no bags dropped there.
There's no.
Should I stop and take these bags out, or what do I do?
Exactly. What is the protocol?
Yeah. Where do I put my bags? How do I get a cart? Who do I talk to? What do I do? This is stuff that most golfers take for granted, but non-golfers would be totally intimidated by, because they have no idea. And the nomenclatures for a non-golfer. On the tee say, who has honors? What does that mean? We're all honorable people, aren't we? Come on, what are you talking about here? Honor means whose turn is it to go first? Yeah. Who's away? I'm not away, I'm right here. That means who's furthest. Just little things that we don't think about as golfers. We don't think about how someone who's not totally conversant with the game is going to deal with what we're talking about.
Right.
And other things, you get upset by somebody standing or walking on your line on the green. Well, that's not common knowledge that you shouldn't do that. People, and you don't. And how do you tell them after they walk in your line, go, hey, don't do that? That's not a great way to get that person to come back. Walking in your line or placing a marker on their ball correctly, or standing where their shadow is cast between you and the pin, or standing back talking to somebody while you're trying to putt.
Oh, let's not go there.
Yeah.
Let's not get started on that.
These are all things that, as you can tell by the growl in his voice, really tick off golfers, but non-golfers would have not a clue that that's not acceptable. So before you invite anybody to come play golf with you, you may want to give them a little primer. What is it called?
Either
Yeah, just
Either screw.